Good morning, everybody.
Back again before I have to go to work.
Yes, we just want to do a quick update on Rio Rancho because an incident has happened March 5th, and I just want to say that it was a Saturday afternoon when the Kingdom Hall is supposed to be empty. And, since Daniel and Tyler are new at this documentary thing, they were unaware that they have to have written permission to actually be on any property to film. So they were just doing an update. They were not, they weren't protesting, they weren't yelling, they didn't have bullhorns, no offense to Derek.
No.
So they were not provoking in any way. And in drives Elder Tim, the Kobe, the head elder.
The one who we've already got on film lying.
Yeah, and so you will see what happens. And they physically throw them out to the sidewalk, with their equipment and everything, and call the police. And I just want to say that when the cops showed up, they were very nice and explained to Daniel and Tyler. And so far, there's no charges or ticket or anything against them. Because here in the state of New Mexico, you have to know that your right to go on their property has been revoked, or it has to be posted that it's private property and no trespassing. And I just want to read the New Mexico statute here real quick. Let's see, this is the section 30-14-1 trespass.
Criminal trespass.
Yeah. Criminal trespass consists of knowingly entering or remaining upon posted private property without possessing written permission from the owner or persons in control of the land. Now, for those of you who don't know, Watchtower Corporation owns all Kingdom Hall and property now. So, it is not public property. Even though they don't have to pay taxes on this, they are still private property. And some Kingdom Halls, in fact, our old congregation does have a no trespassing sign.
It is posted. That's why Kim and I have never gone on that property to protest that particular Kingdom Hall.
Yeah, because they do have a no trespassing sign.
And you can be fined.
Yeah, but this particular one does not. So, like I said, the cops were very nice and explained to Tyler and Daniel that after talking to the elders, their trespass has been...
They've been informed.
Yeah, they have been informed now that they cannot trespass. But because it's not posted, private property, no trespassing, anyone off the street can just wander into the Kingdom Hall.
Right, because it's not
property.
Posted as private property and no trespassing.
Yeah. So we're going to show that clip, and like I said, I'm going to put these statutes at the end of the clip.
Right.
But we also wanted to mention real quick about what you can do as a property owner or renter.
See, the whole mindset of Jehovah's Witnesses is based upon the Constitution of the United States and freedom of religion. And some of these Jehovah's Witnesses think and believe they can go wherever they want to preach their brand of Zionism. And the thing is that the Constitution of the United States does allow freedom of religion. But every time there is statutes, laws passed, there are always loopholes. But they do not have to expose what and where the loopholes are. You have to find those loopholes yourself. So I'm going to give you the loophole to stop Jehovah's Witnesses. If you are a resident of the Rio Rancho community and you're appalled by what you're about to see,
or anywhere, actually.
Anywhere. Or if you're just tired of these people showing up on a Saturday morning, interrupting your morning, or even interrupting your weekday, this is how you stop them. You need to write a letter to the Kingdom Hall. Put it in writing. Because once, and you keep a copy of it, once you put it in writing, you are verbally and or writing away their self-authority to trespass on your property. What they're going to do is they're going to take your name and address and they're going to put it on the back side of their little territory card, which is just a 3x5 card that has a current street map that's been divided into small little territories. On the back side of that card is their do not call list. And then you need to get 1 or 2 signs that say private property or no trespassing, and then take a black Sharpie and write in, this includes Jehovah's Witnesses. What you've done is you have just revoked their constitutional right to come on your private property and preach their brand of religion. That's what you've done. Once they come on your property,
You call the police.
you call the police, and now you can hold them accountable in a court of law. And in some states, it's as much as a $10,000 fine. Okay? And it doesn't matter whether that Jehovah's Witness says, well, I didn't look at the back of the card, because the Kingdom Hall was given that notice. And it's their responsibility to inform the congregation, because ignorance of the law, folks, is no excuse. See, this is the loophole in stopping these Jehovah's Witnesses, because what you're doing is you're taking away their little territory. And all you're doing is you're now shrinking the world of Jehovah's Witnesses to the point to where the only place you're going to engage them is on the public street with their little literature carts. So if you can get 300-400 people in your community, if you're a pastor of a church, let this information be known to your congregation. Let it be known, because what these people are preaching and teaching from their version of the Bible is absolute lies, and it's not Christian based. If you want that stopped, there is a way to get around the Constitution, and it is to write them and let them know that you do not want them on their property, and you will hold them accountable if they do violate your written statement.
Okay, now for the letter, it doesn't need to be long. You just want to give your name and your physical address, and you just want to state that you will no longer allow Jehovah's Witnesses on your property, or that you are revoking their right to come onto your property, and that the police will be called. And if you want, you can also send this copy to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, and I will put their address at the end of this video. And Tyler also has the address in his video to the Rio Rancho Kingdom Hall. And so this is a way, and you can even do a sign that just say, no trespassing to Jehovah's Witnesses. If you still want to allow others to come onto your property, and it is your right as to, living on that property, and whether you own it or are renting, and of course, if your property is owned by Jehovah's Witnesses and you are living there, it's like, then you got a touchy situation.
Exactly. So, I guess thanks for watching, and enjoy what happened in Rio Rancho, because it really shows just what's beneath the surface of Jehovah's Witnesses. Everybody thinks there's these nice Christians that come knocking on your door spreading the gospel. But videos like this actually show what Kim and I have known for a very, very, very long time. We were Jehovah's Witnesses for the vast majority of our lives, and even as fully indoctrinated cult members of the Watchtower Bible Tract Society, Jehovah's Witnesses, we had already back then known just what was beneath the surface. And these people are full of hate, and they're full of bitterness. And this elder, who is a pastor of their church, and not just him, but the ones that marched out. And when you look at the way they approached these two people, you can just read their body language, and you know that they're full of anger and hate. You can just see it.
Yeah, and I should mention, for those of you who don't know, that Tyler and Daniel were never Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right.
So they're not apostates, just trying to cause trouble. They are just, what we would call worldly guys that seen this travesty against the Mira family and just want to do a documentary about it. And I also want to mention that the talk he is playing in the background, and you'll see flashes of it every once in a while, is from the 2015 2015 district convention. And it was a talk given about imitate Jesus and his power, loving elders.
Yeah.
So enjoy, and see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey Mike and Kim, this is Tyler reporting to you from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's been going on here. Daniel and I just got back from filming on location at the Kingdom Hall next to the Miras family, and this is what happened.
It's been said that the difference between rejoicing and groaning has a lot to do with who's in charge and how they use their power. It says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am mild-tempered and lowly in heart, and you will find refreshment for yourselves." Jesus was always kind, always considerate, even when he was under a great deal of stress. So if you think about if Jesus was to give a gift, it would be an expression of his kindness. Well, he's done just that. If you turn to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 8 in your Bibles, we see a gift he's given to all the congregations, and that is our elders. There in Ephesians 4 and verse 8, it calls them gifts in men. Now, in Ephesians 4, verse 12, if you look down there, it describes what they would be doing. It says, "With a view to the readjustment, or the training, of the holy ones for ministerial work to build up the body of the Christ." So they would be readjusting, they would be building up.
Don't turn that off.
So elders,
You can't touch this
Jehovah
equipment.
has given you.
You're on our property.
He
Get your
has
hands off
given
this equipment. Get the hands off the equipment.
faithful
You cannot touch
spiritual
any. You cannot touch
measure
any of this
of
equipment.
power and authority. And he's given it to you to care for his precious sheep and expect that Jesus' example will be followed. It does remain that if we're not that way, it's a gift that can be returned. So as elders, we have to keep striving to follow Jesus' example.
No reason.
So ask yourself, how can I imitate Jesus in his use of power? Well, first, we have to have the mind of Christ. And to do that, it means spending time in the Gospels, really examining his pattern of thinking, adopting as our own, his methods, how he handled situations, the way he comforted, he reassured, he readjusted, always relying on the authority of God's word, but always with kindness. He always did what was good, never what was harmful. For elders, they need to go to the chief shepherd. And by doing that, having that mental attitude, that means they're going to be able to do always what is good, always for building up, never tearing down the sheep. And we're sure that you brothers are going to do that. You're going to follow that Christ-like love, and by doing that, you'll be a powerful force for good in the congregation.
But now what about that aspect or that trait of being provoked? How do we personally imitate Jehovah and Jesus in this regard? Well, we're going to mention 3 points. Number one, think about how our actions will reflect on Jehovah's name and affect others spiritually. So before we react, we need to think about how our reaction is going to affect Jehovah God. And then we need to think about how our action will affect the person we're going to react to, or possibly the person that's watching us in how we respond. How will it affect their spirituality?
And please be assured that the governing body loves each of you very much. More important, never doubt for a moment that Jehovah and Jesus love all of you very much, and that your faithful conduct is making their hearts rejoice.